Hi everybody, welcome to Milgat Farms. Beautiful day as ever on the farm. It's nice and sunny, but today we're going to be in the sugar barn rebuilding my pump. If you didn't catch that earlier video, it's kind of weird how this is played out. The pump has not been working right for a long time. I took it apart in a previous video and cleaned everything and it looked pretty good. But let me show you what I didn't take apart. So what we're looking at here is the pump itself. Now this is a diaphragm pump. My diaphragms are off. And that's what I didn't do. I felt uncomfortable at the time taking my diaphragms off. And then I thought, well, these parts in this kit that I was sold, they're not the right ones. And I was completely wrong. Had I pulled it apart, I would have found out that it was the correct ones and I could have rebuilt it properly. And that's, oh, you see Isabel right there? And that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna rebuild this pump. So come along and let's see if we can get it done.
Oh, can I organize some of these?
Yeah, get them all organized.
Okay, deal. I'll fix. 24 plus 16. Ah.
Let me see, is that right?
Yes.
So this is the body of the pump itself. The diaphragms go on both sides. And I didn't think I had the right kit because when I went into the top of this to check it like I've done in the past, the parts that I had sort of matched up, but they really didn't match up. After having more problems with my pump, I decided to pull the diaphragms off. This is what they look like. I pulled the diaphragm off and I realized that this little part right here matched perfectly with the kit that I had. Furthermore, it had one of these in the kit. Now, this fits inside of here. Here's the old one, and I'll show you what's kind of going on. These are brand new O-rings, and they're just perfect. These O-rings are not. They're really sloppy, and you could just pull it up, and it even holds the shape when you pull it up. That right there is the reason this is probably not working. So we're gonna get everything back together with new O-rings, which is this guy right here, plus some additional O-rings in here. And we do that right now. This is a new part here. It's gonna slide down in, but not before we put a little bit of grease on it. I prefer moly grease versus, well, we'll try this.
It looks.
We're gonna set it right on
doesn't
down.
look good. It looks like honey. Does it kind of look like honey to you?
It kind of looks like honey.
With the yellow touch to it. But if this doesn't work,
This is gonna be terrible if it doesn't work. I know I do have another pump, Isabel, if it doesn't work.
Another pump?
I bought it, I picked up another pump.
Why?
Boy, they are expensive. So I really didn't want to pick up another pump.
But you had to?
Didn't have a choice. There, yeah, it's gonna go right in that hole. Okay. Just set it right down in
I
there.
thought it was gonna be in the middle.
No.
That goes right
There we
there.
go.
The middle hole goes there.
Wow, that's completely different. This is not what it was before. Now, we're going to go into this kit right here. This is what came with the rebuild kit. In there, we've got a couple of things. We've got a bunch of O-rings. We should have two of these fat O-rings like this. That one's going to go in like so.
This silver O-ring?
This one's going to go in like this. Look at this.
Silver.
Oh, what letter is that?
Oh.
You're learning your cursive letters, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a cursive O without the little tail on it.
Actually, it's not anywhere. It's normal. Actually, it's a normal O because without the thing, there's always a little dip. There's always a little hole.
There is.
That's right. You can't. That's a regular O.
Watch this.
Do you want to do this?
I have to get the syrup onto the evaporator.
I mean, that's the evaporator.
Yeah. Gotta get the syrup in there so we can keep making maple syrup. And this pump does that for us. The little problem here is when this it's stripped off. So what we have to do is a little different. I'm just gonna take a piece of the cardboard here, mix up some epoxy, and put it in the hole. We don't need a lot of epoxy.
How much?
Oh, maybe a couple, size of a pencil eraser, not even that. All we need is just a very little bit of epoxy.
Then why did you put so much?
Now you have to mix it together, so I mixed it all together. I'm going to stick it in that hole here in a second. This is unfortunately a 5-minute epoxy. This could be a little challenging.
5 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't last long.
What's 5-minute epoxy?
That means in 5 minutes this is going to be hard as a rock. It's only going to take us like 15 minutes to put this together. That's it. Alright, that's going to work. Let's get the epoxy off of this. Alright, now next we're going to do is we're going to put these guys on, but before we do that we got to get some grease on this shaft. So we're going to clean the shaft.
What does the grease smell like?
Nobody.
Oh, I smell it. It's way too bad.
There, we got a little bit of grease on the shaft.
Way too much.
Maybe, but we have to get it all around the shaft like this.
Why do you have to spread it?
It's going to be going back and forth in here, and that's kind of interesting, to be honest with you.
It is?
Yeah.
Do I do weird questions?
I don't know. Why don't you ask the people on the camera?
Do I do weird questions? Because Dad sometimes says good question because he doesn't know.
That's not true. I know everything.
No, you don't. Only God knows everything.
That is very, very true. There's no question about that, is there?
No one knows everything but God and Jesus.
There we go, buddy.
This epoxy is weird.
There's no epoxy. There it goes. All right, there's that one side. Now we got to get the other side in.
Close enough.
Now let's see what we got here. So that side is in. This side, that's going to go in, most likely.
Most likely? What did I'm excited to get. I can't wait for a festival. Because guess what? I want to do, if the lady that paints faces, I'm going to get another nice kind of face. If the lady at Maple Festival is going to be there, then I'm going to get my face painted again.
So I put some Loctite on here. I just don't want this to come off. Not that I think it's going to come off, but you never know. And this is semi-permanent, so it's not going to cause a problem. Let's take the top apart.
I just told them something.
What'd you say?
I told them, you know what you found? Ooh, what's that?
This is called an Allen wrench.
Can I have one?
Yep, they're right here.
Ooh, neat. Are there different types? There's different types.
Since we've got this pump out and the kit's sitting right in front of me, the only thing we really need to do to finish getting the whole thing rebuilt is to change out the O-rings on the little pieces parts inside of here. I'll show you how we do this. Last week when I did it, was it last week or the week before, all I had to do was get in here and just clean it. But since I got it apart, I'm gonna go ahead and just change them out, put some more grease on them, and see how it does. We've got these two guys here, if you remember from the other video, look like big old staples. So we're gonna pop those out, and well, that's not how it goes. We're gonna push it out on this side. There it is. There's an O-ring on that. We're gonna pull this out. We got an O-ring on the plunger, and we got an O-ring in this one that I'm gonna have to push out here. I'm gonna try to get it out. It's not going out. Gotta get a screwdriver. I do not want to smack myself in the finger. There we go. So we're gonna get these O-rings done. That should take just a couple minutes. Let me get a, oh, maybe I can use this. Nope, I'm gonna get a screwdriver. I don't wanna break them because if something goes wrong and I need them again or need an extra one, they'll actually fit. So the last thing I wanna do is break them and have any problems later or not be able to have one, you know what I mean? In our little pot here is some hot water. Now we got to get the other side off. You want to make sure that when you put them back on, you put them back on in the same direction they came off. Ouch. So there are two sides to this. You want to make sure that you put it on so that the hard side is here. Let me show you what I mean. This has a hard side and then there's a flexible side here that'll come up and actually make the seal. It's going to go with the hard side on the outboard side, and the flexible seal is going to be it's going to be to the inside. Now let's see if we got a big one. Let's see if it's getting any warmer. Yeah, a little bit warmer. We'll see what we got here.
Can I feel?
That's the ticket right there. I probably should have put heat on it to get it off.
Remember, dip it off. If it's
No, this is easy. This is okay. This is very simple. This one comes out real easy, guys. There we go. So that O-ring came off. Now we can set that O-ring down just in case we need it later. But you never know. You just don't know what'll happen to these little guys. Or at least let me say I don't know, because I have made some mistakes. Let's start that over. We're going to put this side in, nice and easy. It's got the grease on it. A little bit of push. It'll go right in there. Okay, so we got the first O-rings in, second O-ring. It's in. All right, with that in, get your staple. Put your staple in. It'll hold it. All the staples there is just to hold it. It's going to be held down in a minute when we put it all back together. Next, your small end is going to go in first. So put your small end in first. Push it in nice and easy. There we go. We got our small end in. No, we don't. That does not work. There we go. All right, that's working. The last thing we got to do on this body is to get in this guy right here, and that has got the O-ring. It's already got grease in there. There we go. Next, don't push it in too far, like I did. Bring it out a little bit so you can get your. We got our staple in place. All our O-rings are in place in this. Our O-rings are out of the way for now. They're still stuck to my fingers. The next thing we need to do is get this part in, and then the ceramic part and the little moving wedge. And put your new piece in place. All the holes are going to line up. You've got your new little ceramic piece, and there's a little thing that moves in there that allows it to send air to either side. And when you got grease on your fingers, it's almost impossible. Here we go. There, it's going to sit right there. Now we got to put the cover back on, which is right here.
Ow. Meow.
For this to be done, we need to get the pump back on the filter press. That's going to take a few minutes. Let's make it happen.
Then I'm gonna go eat my lunch.
Huh?
You do that while I go eat lunch.
That's fine. I'll be done in a few minutes. So I'll come down in a little while,
That was
okay?
an hour video.
It was. We're still not done either. So you just go get your lunch. See you in a little bit, buddy. Okay, where are you? There you are. Okay. They're on. Now we're going to get the top on. I got the tops done, although I will tell you the last time we had a leak in one of the tops. We might have it this time, so we'll just have to play with it and see what we've got. Everything's back together now. It's time to give it a try. We call the filters that we use coming into the barn to filter the sap sock filters. And the other, that was probably a couple weeks ago, we had a baby lamb in the house, had no traction whatsoever. So Ludford gave us the socks to put on our baby lamb so we can have some traction in the house. They've never been used, so we're gonna give them a try to pull the syrup or the sap out of here and get it in the back of the evaporator. I think that was a problem all along. So what we're gonna do in a little bit is we're gonna take the syrup that's over here. Let me show you. We're gonna take it from here. It's gonna go into this little pan right here. It's gonna go into a sock that we're gonna put in. It looks like this. These are actual sock filters that we use to filter the sap before it comes into our big tank over there. It's gonna sit like that, and what's gonna happen is the syrup is gonna go into it, pre-filter it going into here. We're gonna put another sock on the end of here before it goes into there. And then when we're done, we're gonna sock filter it here, sock filter it there. It's gonna go back into the evaporator. Now you're probably asking yourself, why am I going to this extreme? Let me show you. Hey look, you guys can see me. Hi. So in the bottom of this, you're gonna see, there we go. You see how it's dark? Even on the bottom, you can't even see it, it's so dark. There's probably 1/8 of an inch or more of sediment on the bottom. And that has been plaguing us. That's been plaguing us all season. I don't think it's truly the sediment as much as I think it's been the pump. But of course we've had sediment and we've had a pump problem. So now that we got the pump problem fixed, hopefully we're gonna be able to filter our syrup a whole lot easier and faster than we have for the whole season. It's sure pumping it in really nice. And you can see it right there doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Oh, we have leaking syrup. All right, we gotta stop this. We're leaking syrup on both sides. We gotta stop it and we gotta fix it. So you saw I had a leak. The little washer is concave washer. I certainly don't have any of those in the barn. I'd have to order one. I couldn't get an O-ring under it to lift it up. So this is what I did. I took a piece of Teflon tape like this, brought it out about that far. I broke it. Oops, I just dropped my Teflon. So I broke it and I just rolled it, just like that, okay? I made sort of a gasket out of it. I took the little white piece off. I put this under it, put the white piece back on top, and I secured all 4 bolts. And so far, it's not leaking. So the pump worked really well. I did have one problem, and I don't know that you'll have this problem because I was pumping some pretty cold, it's not quite sap, it's definitely not syrup, liquid, let me say that. And because it was so cold, it froze the pump up. And when that happened, it pretty much stopped. So I took it all apart, and that's when I discovered the ice inside of it. Didn't see that one coming, actually. Got it all back together, pumped up what I needed back in the evaporator. We boiled, did not make any syrup, but we got it all in there, and that's a good thing. Today we ended up pumping the liquid cold, and so it doesn't really like that cold of liquid. And tomorrow we're gonna go ahead and filter some syrup, our single barrel rye whiskey maple syrup, and that stuff's pretty good. If you ever wanna try that out, go to millgapfarms.com. I'm telling you, that stuff is delicious. Thank you for watching our video. We really appreciate it. We hope you're enjoying them as much as we enjoy making them for you. We really enjoy sharing what God's done with us with you. Thanks a lot. Do consider giving us a thumbs up. And until next time, God bless you guys.